Another misconception would be that Stoics are passive, like they kind of sit on their hands and,
Yeah.
if you were a Stoic, you would just accept Nazism or something like that. You would just, I just have to accept this and amor fati and go with the flow and rather than, trying to oppose it or anything. Well, that's crazy, right? Because historically the the Stoics were famous for opposing tyranny and dying. There's a whole bunch of Stoic martyrs that opposed and several Roman emperors who were autocratic in nature. And so Marcus Aurelius did not stay at home. He was a workaholic. And, when he was 40 years old, without really having any military training to speak of, and in the middle of a plague, he left Rome, possibly leaving that region of Italy for maybe the first time in his life, and rode across the Alps to Austria to take command of the largest army ever massed on a Roman frontier, and was in danger on several levels. Firstly, from dying of the plague. We know that was a big, serious threat in the military camps that other people were scared of.
Yeah.
Like Commodus, for example, bailed eventually because he was like, I don't want to get plague here, but Marcus didn't. And also because we're told that 20,000 Romans had been slaughtered in a single battle at Carnuntum, and several high-ranking Roman officers had died in battle. So Marcus didn't, even in Carnuntum, in the fortress, he didn't know for sure that he was completely safe there. But so he wasn't passive. His life is the opposite of that. He was a man of determination and vigorous action. He worked very hard. I think many people have this idea, a caricature of a Roman emperor as being like Nero, and this kind of caricature that they're just like a celebrity, and they go, oh, this is great, I'm really wealthy and powerful, I'll just drink a lot of wine and have orgies and things like that. And Marcus Aurelius' life was nothing like that. He thought of himself as a career politician. He took his job incredibly seriously. He was constantly studying. He served as a judge, as a magistrate, even as emperor, and he studied jurisprudence throughout his life. He studied rhetoric because he took giving speeches extremely seriously. He was exceptionally dedicated and hardworking and conscientious about the role of emperor, which he saw as a job, a career in a sense, or vocation maybe would be a better way of putting it. So some of the main misconceptions that people have about Stoicism just aren't even refuted, but they just kind of melt away when you look at an actual living example of a Stoic. Yeah. And I guess that allows us to see it in a more human and kind of rounded and balanced way, whereas people, I think, if they're just reading the texts, are more likely to kind of caricature some of the aspects of the philosophy.